I'm Rachel Berglund with the Kajani Group. It's not news that a lot of SaaS companies are struggling with slow or stagnant revenue growth, so their revenue enablement organizations are struggling too. I want to talk about one of the biggest reasons why this is happening that too few of us in the enablement world are talking about. For decades, the operational true north for revenue organizations has been the sales process, an established set of stages required to capture sales revenue in a predictable, repeatable way. Now, the sales enablement function was established to optimize the rate at which sales revenue moved through each stage by delivering specialized content, tools, and training for each of the teams with a role to play in that process. For example, let's say your business had an issue in stage two with deal qualification. Not enough of the right ones or too many of the wrong ones. You train your SDRs and AEs to do better discovery, and if you'd done that well, you'd see an improvement in those stage two qualification numbers. Now, this approach worked as long as businesses were capturing revenue through the large upfront license agreements that defined the pre SaaS era. But with the rise of the cloud and subscription or consumption based revenue models, capturing customer revenue wasn't enough. Now you had to keep it as well. To tackle this change, businesses went back to the true north of the sales process and extended it, adding new stages and new roles to support it. And the sales enablement function changed its name to revenue enablement, but the strategy stayed the same, and things got complicated. Let's say your business is struggling with increasing churn due to decreasing product adoption in stage seven, and it determines that one way to address this is for your CSMs to do more focused discovery during initial success planning, to identify and implement the best initial use case to catalyze early adoption. Now, ideally, you'd want to use the discovery training you built for your SDRs and AEs. But that was built to impact an entirely different stage in the process, where discovery is about challenging the customer status quo. That's the opposite of what your CSMs need. They need discovery training that will help them deliver the customer's new and better status quo. So you have two options. You can leverage the existing program with a bunch of messy structural workarounds that will scream, originally designed for sales, or build or buy a second program that's tailored for CS, which means 2x the work to deliver, certify, and maintain. Rinse and repeat for other common situations like pricing negotiations or competitive positioning. A revenue enablement strategy that's rigidly attached to a linear sales post sales process forces enablement teams to operate in an increasingly siloed, complex, inefficient way. Worse, it's largely disconnected from how businesses actually make investment decisions. Customers don't make those decisions based on our 8 or 9 step process for capturing their investment. They make them based on the continual cycle they follow to quantify and realize the business value they're getting from it. It's this functional disconnection of so many revenue enablement programs from the customer value cycle that's a leading cause of the revenue growth problems plaguing so many SaaS companies right now. And it's time we fixed it. So, what would an enablement strategy aligned with the customer value cycle look like? And what are some of the outcomes it can deliver? That's what we'll talk about next.